Jesus Christ come back, who are his people?
I'm gonna say
that he's coming to save.
People he's coming to save the righteous people, the oppressed. And that could be dark-skinned, light-skinned, and anybody. That's one thing I will say.
That's why I'm not talking about color. Right. I'm talking about what race, ethnicity would he be?
I believe he would be dark-skinned. I mean, that's the easiest I can make.
So you're still giving me color. Okay. What race would he be?
Educate me there.
All right, I'll help you out. Okay. The real Jews are the Negroes in America. You can trace that back with historical facts. The people that was on the transatlantic slave trade are the tribe of Judah, one tribe out of the nation of Israel, which has 11 other tribes. So we know through history that they fled from Jerusalem in 70 AD and went into the interiors of Africa to blend in with other dark races. But they ended up having wars with these other African races and was pushed to the west coast of Africa, i.e., which is why you have on Portuguese maps and French maps that when they went and hired the Africans to find the Jews and sell them to white people, they went into a place called Wida, aka Judah. So there was a kingdom of Jews. What are the Jews doing on the west coast of Africa? Because the Jews are the Negroes in America. So if Jesus Christ came back today, who he's coming to save, his actual tribe, would be blacks in America, so-called blacks in America.
Listen, man, I see why Russia labeled the LGBT community as an extremist group.
From the history of stigma and epilepsy, International League of Epilepsy, a passage in St. Mark's Gospel accurately describes tonic-clonic seizure, but concludes that the child contains a spirit of dumbness. In the Christian world, this biblical story has led to the belief shared by many Greeks and priests that epileptics were demonic. So in conclusion, an epileptic came to Muhammad. Did he accuse him of being demon-possessed? No. He said, I will pray for you. 3 scientific contradictions corrected by proving that that Allah is a God of Israel, because the God of Israel doesn't create this type of catastrophes, this type of suffering, needless suffering and misery. Only the true God comes and corrects these mistakes. Notice my presentation is 100% fact-based. Now, get ready for the interpretations. And as I said, Captain T will not present a single fact, only personal interpretations. Go ahead, please.
I didn't know that was your 15. That's your whole 15 minutes?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. As long as you had just stopped, because I didn't start my stopwatch. So I just trusted that you would do it. So I wasn't sure if that was it or not.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold on, let me get my screen. Let me just get my PowerPoint together. I didn't know how, just so you know, I didn't know how to share your screen and you by yourself with me. So I actually removed myself down to the stage so it would just be you. So when I go, if I can't figure it out, I'm going to do the same thing, but I don't want you to think that I'm not removing you from the debate. You'll still be able to hear and do everything. I just wanted, to make sure you understood that. All right. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick. Present. Oh, wait. Before I share it, I forgot when you do the PowerPoint, you got to do it a certain way. So let me see. I'm going to do from the beginning. Let me bring this over here. Bear with me 1 second. Appreciate it. All right, so we're going to start here. So now I'm going to present my screen, share, and I'm going to here. I think it's up there now. So I'm just going to move you down. Nadia, you'll still be able to hear everything. And if you need, to come up top, just raise your hand. And of course, I'll bring you back up top. I just don't know how to. Wait, let me see if I could do it like this. Cap, no, full screen layout. Let me see. Okay. All right. I'm cool like that. So you can stay in there because they don't need to see me. They know what I look like. So they'll just hear me. All right. So I'm going to start my time now. So I'm going to start my stopwatch. So I'm going to start now. The title of this debate is not contradictions or science or whatever. The title of this debate is Allah and Yahweh. Some may say Yahweh the same. The only way to substantiate that is to show that the same way you worship the God of Israel is the same way you worship the God of the Quran. If you don't worship in the same, then it doesn't apply. So when we start off first, the fact that the Quran says God is Allah and Israel, or the Bible says that God is Yahweh, that's your first clue that they're not the same. That's the first clue. He made a point to say that I'm not stating facts. He made a point to say that I'm only going to come from the Bible, and the Bible is not facts. We'll see what the Quran says about it. So he brought up Deuteronomy 18 and 18. I already had that in my PowerPoint. It says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren. He just admitted that Ishmael was an Arab, or Muhammad was an Arab or Ishmaelite. The Ishmaelites are not our brothers. In the Bible, the Ishmaelites are our enemies. So when it says a prophet from among their brothers, Moses was a Levite from the tribe, was a Levite from the nation of Israel. So a brother would have to be an Israelite. That's why when you read John 1 and 45, it says, Philip findeth Nathanael and saith, we have found him of whom Moses and the law and the prophets did write. Moses wrote about Christ. There's no verse where Moses wrote about Muhammad. Muhammad, as it says here, Muhammad was an Arab Ishmaelite. Where does it say an Ishmaelite will lead God's chosen people? He has to show that. Galatians 1 says, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace, to the grace of Christ, into another gospel, which is not another. But there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel of Christ. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached, let them be accursed. So now Paul is saying if somebody brings, and it could be an angel because they claim Muhammad met the angel Gabriel, it could even be an angel. And even if an angel comes in there, he is accursed. That's what the Bible says. Go to the next slide. It says, is the God of Israel. So now we have a parallel. So now it says the God of Israel name is Yahweh. The God of the Quran is Allah. That's an X. Got to X that off. Don't count. Psalms 83 and 18 says that men may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh art the most high. So he has to show where did God change his name and why did God change his name? Allah doesn't have a begotten son. God has an only begotten son, Yahushua and Israel. John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. 2nd Ezra 6 and 58 says, but we thy people Israel, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thine only begotten. There is no sons of Allah in the Quran. We are saved through Yahushua. In the Quran, here's the interesting fact. It says, Surah 2:116, it says, they say Allah has an offspring. Glory be to him. So if Allah has an offspring according to Quran, and glory be to him according to Quran, and he's saying the Quran, the Allah of the Quran is the same there, whoever that offspring is, Muhammad is saying the glory. So if the God of Israel, and they're the begotten children of Israel, even the Quran is saying glory be to the children of Israel. It's not even saying glory to himself. So when it says we are saved through Yahushua, it says, for God sent not his son into the world to condemn it, but that the world through him might be saved. The Bible says that Yahushua was crucified. Luke 24 and 6, it says, he is not here, but he is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was in Galilee, saying the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands. The Quran says that he was not crucified. So the Quran is the lie. Surah 157, it says, and for boasting, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of Allah, but they neither killed nor crucified him. It was only made to appear so. So he would have to substantiate how it was made to appear so, because his Quran is saying it. So now his Quran is saying that glory be to the offspring of his Allah, and his Quran is saying that it was made to appear that Christ died, but he didn't die. So he has to prove that. That's two. Let's go to the next slide. When we talk about where do we pray, the Quran used to teach that they pray facing Jerusalem. They then changed it because they wanted to face the Kaaba. Why is that important? When you read 1 Kings, the 8th chapter, Solomon made a decree, and even Daniel in the 6th chapter and the 10th verse, when he was in Babylon, prayed facing Jerusalem, because that's the decree that Solomon made. When you read the Quran, though, It says Imam al-Bukhari reported that al-Bara narrated Allah's messenger offered his prayers facing Bayat al-Maqdis, Jerusalem.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK coming out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group, period. And you do have a lot of them out here. Basically, those are, breakoffs from the original truth. Like I always say, we are the, you know how you got 100% juice, then you got juice like Sunny Delight, where it's say 15% juice on the side of it, or we are the 100% real deal, and those are the watered down Sunny Delights. The whatever you can name, that's what they are. We are the 100% real deal. Those are break off groups from the ISUPK. Whether I don't know the reason why they would break off from the truth. Maybe power, money. You know how men are in this evil world. They want the power and the money for themselves. But this thing called the ISUPK, this is not about power. This is about waking our people up and getting us out of this hellhole called America. Again, this is the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? This ISUPK Milwaukee. I'm Officer Kananya. You know what I'm saying? We still in the Feast of Tabernacles, I believe. The closing is Thursday, sundown. I might have to double check with men above me, but yeah, that's what they said recently on Sabbath service. They said the closing was this Thursday. So there's that, and yeah, we're gonna get in it. We're gonna get it in tonight. The title of this class is called "Power in the Tongue." You know what I mean? And it's definitely power in the tongue. So we're gonna be reading about that. We're gonna be bringing that out. Also, scriptures that pertain to the world today. A little bit of brotherhood, absolutely. And maybe conspiracy, truth on just some of the basics that's happening throughout the earth today, or throughout America. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to get started by saying Salam, Israel. This weekend, Officer 5000 al-Walam did a lecture on what is it called? The Desolation of Gary, Indiana. Y'all go check that out on YouTube's, on your Facebook. His name is Officer Iwalam, Officer 5000 Iwalam. He did a lecture on the desolation of Gary, Indiana. It was glorious. It was absolutely eye-opening. And you know what I'm saying? It put things in perspective on why Gary looks the way that it does today. You know what I'm saying? Similar to, the Detroits, cities that got just multiple like abandoned buildings, street lights and stuff, things of that nature don't work. You know what I'm saying? Poverty, of course, whatever you can name is there. You know what I'm saying? Officer Iwalam did a lecture on Gary, Indiana, just on how it got like that, because there used to be a place for the workers to, it was a thing there called the steel mill. You know what I'm saying? Once the steel mill went out of business, that's when Gary, Indiana started to go downhill. But I don't want to expound on that. I want y'all to go watch the lecture. He breaks it down beautifully. He touch bases on every question that you can ask. And if you come up with with other questions, you could just type them in the chat as usual. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. That better? Yeah, that's better. Shout out to all the participants in Hebrew Academy. You know what I'm saying? We going strong. This is week. We coming up on I think week 7. You know what I'm saying? No pain, no gain, right? Right. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, shout out to the Hebrew Academy participants, you know what I'm saying? And just big shout out to the UPK, the new members, the alumni, if you will, if y'all would allow me to call y'all that. The elders, all that, everybody that's new in the UPK, shalom. Everybody that been in here for 10 plus years, 5+ years, shalom to y'all too. You know what I'm saying? We have to endure this thing to the end, because if we don't, you know, the so-called pastors is going to prosper. You know, they're going to keep your communities putting money into their pockets, and they getting a new Cadillac, or, you know, it'd be the same old story, you know. And I can't believe that, well, you got 50-50. Our people are waking up, but at the same time, more and more people are believing in this church lie, which is that the Lord is with the church. When we know, as people in the UPK, that it's the total opposite. The Lord is not with the church. You know what I'm saying? The Lord doesn't allow things like homosexuality, lesbianism, pork eating, the little communion thing that they do with the bread and the grape juice. That's wild, right? And on top of everything, you know, it's October, right? So even the churches celebrate Halloween, which is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, right? You got churches celebrating Christmas, and that alone lets me know that they don't read this Bible. It should be an immediate red flag if you come across a pastor or somebody that say they of a church, but they celebrate Christmas. Or another immediate red flag of somebody that's so church, they in the church and in the Bible, if you see them wearing like a cross. Some of them wear double crosses, iced out crosses. You know, they get that stuff from the rappers. The rappers be wearing iced out crosses, which lets you know, what it should let you know, that these people are even more lost, from almost beyond reach. You know what I'm saying? But if they could just listen and look into the ISUPK class in their city, you know, we are all across the United States. We are not hard to find. All you have to do is type in ISUPK and then type your city. It's gonna be the nearest classes, the nearest school that you type in is gonna pop up on Google. Bam. You go to YouTube, start watching it, you know what I'm saying? Get in contact somehow. You know, we got the contact information up there. Or you can do old-fashioned how I got in the truth. I used to watch Cross the Line radio all the time. I was telling my lady, you know, my wife, my rib, man, if they got a camp here, I'm stopping everything negative that I'm doing, and I'm joining. And that's exactly what I did. You know, it all started from that one video of Captain Tazariak and no, it wasn't Captain Tazariak. It was somewhere around that time where Captain Tazariak in Polite, when he was like, if you're gonna cross the line, cross the fucking line. And around that time, I started, you know, paying attention. I started trying to get ready to come into the UPK, because you can't come in here and you still smoking weed. Well, you could come in here, but you have to stop smoking weed. You have to graduate to not smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I'm gonna say you're absolutely forbidden from smoking weed up in here, because we don't allow that. We follow the Bible. We clean our body. You know what I'm saying? We don't have none of that negativity around us, because we pumping positivity to our people. We trying to raise up a nation, and we can't do that with men in here getting high, sisters in here being high. You know what I'm saying? Cloud your mind, cloud your judgment, and ultimately, it's not good for you. You know what I'm saying? So put the drugs down. I done ran into so many people in my immediate close family as well. Every time I see them, put the drugs down. Oh, the Lord put this here for me. That's their favorite thing to say. So, you know, my counter is, well, crack is also here from the Lord. The Lord made all this stuff. He made crack, weed, all that. So how is this not a drug? But this is. It comes from plants. And, you know, we get into a whole debate about it. And, you know, in the world is mostly, out of our community, it's mostly weed smokers who think they know stuff. They be philosophizing, and you know what I'm saying? It'd be funny because you smoke weed, but you know stuff. Like, you're smart, but you smoke weed. Like, you're crazy. Delusional, if you will. But that was just a little introduction, you know what I'm saying? I'm obviously Kananya. Today we're gonna be speaking about power in the tongue. Just to give a brief I don't want to say synopsis. I don't want to say you know, just to give a brief just to brief you on what this is going to be about is, man, watch what you say to people. Bottom line. I mean, you can it's a thing, it's one thing to be joking. Like, once you joke, you know, it usually, you say something and it usually come with, oh, I was just kidding, or I was just playing. But if you said something, if you say something and you mean to say it, and it's either harmful or not, if you don't think it's harmful, the other person might think it's harmful. They'll never forget it. The Bible says it's life and death in the tongue, which is power. You can make somebody come alive with your tongue, like spiritually, or you can affect their spirit on what you say out your mouth also. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you definitely have to be careful what you say and who you say it to. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a person like me, I don't forget these things. I don't forget how you talked or the words that you said to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't forget those type of things. And if it's a joke, you know, you can say that, oh, I was joking. But if no joke comes, if you don't, is my headband upside down, y'all? Let me know. It don't look like it. Okay, but if it's a joke, you know what I'm saying? Follow what I was just playing, or I was just kidding. Because some people take whatever you say serious. Little jokes that you don't say, oh, I was just kidding about, or people start to look at you different and act different towards you just because of what you said. Why? Because it's power in the tongue. Exactly. Shalom, sister, sis. Nazam in the building again. She said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And it's not what you do, but how you do it. Exactly. Exactly. You can absolutely, like, I'm gonna get that scripture. What is it? Proverbs. Let me see. It's Proverbs 18. Yeah, Proverbs 18 and 21. We're gonna start off with that. I usually circle around to the topic of the class and bring it out in the middle, but I think this is so heavy that it should be brought out in the beginning, because you absolutely, like, especially if you know, married, you have your spouse, your wife, your rib, your husband, you know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely have to watch what y'all say to each other at all times. Like, you can't just because people don't forget these things, and you know, you don't know what background certain people come from, where in the world they probably was like, I don't let nobody say nothing slick to me. I'm gonna remember that, or something got to happen behind that. You know what I'm saying? You just ultimately just like the brotherhood scripture is, you know, treat your brother like you want to be treated. You don't want to be saying negative stuff to your brother or your sister and then think it's just gonna be all good about it. That sister or brother probably dwelling on what you said. You know, you might end up in counsel over just some words, some simple words. So you have to speak life into your brothers and sisters and your spouse. You know, you can't be, again, like Nazam said, it's how you say things. You know what I'm saying? It can mean all of the difference. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, too much. Slocky in 1 second. But it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 21. Yeah, so I'm gonna read this scripture real quick. You know, and this is how and before I came into the truth, this is how I live. This is how I used to live and still live to this day. Like, I do what I say I'm gonna do. If I say, well, I'm gonna clean this up tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be clean. If I say, just simple things like, I don't know, I'm gonna take this garbage out, or you know, so I'm gonna fill a tank up later. It's exactly what I'm gonna do because I said it. If I wasn't gonna do it, I wouldn't say it. And sometimes sisters in the world got that bad where it's like a threat. Don't threaten no one. Be what's the word I'm looking for? Don't make no threats. That's the bottom line. Just don't make no threats. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, you best be willing to back it up. That's how it is. Because if not, if you say something and you don't back it up, what's gonna happen? People are gonna look at you like you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? You rather them look at you by you being a person of your word. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, do it. If you not finna do it, don't say it, because especially like in the spousal type of deal. If you say you finna do something and you talking to your spouse, they're gonna be looking for you to do it. If you don't do it, then what? They're gonna look at you as a liar. And you can't be mad at them for looking at you as a liar. You the one that didn't carry out what you said you was gonna do. You have to be a person of your word. Don't make no threats and don't do nothing don't say nothing that you're not willing to do or that you're not gonna do. It's just simple because, like I said, they're gonna look at you as a liar, and it's gonna be your fault. Like, it ain't their fault that they look at you as a liar. You didn't do what you said you was gonna do, right? Don't be threatening me, or don't be telling me stuff that exactly your word matters. Don't be telling me, and that's the thing too. They're probably just telling you things to butter you up. Oh, I'm gonna do this for you tomorrow, or oh, I'm doing this tomorrow. Come tomorrow, you looking at them like, go ahead and do it. Do it. And behind it, 100,000 excuses come on why they didn't do it. No, do it, man. That's how I go, man. And that's how it is according to the Bible, because you don't want to be looked at as a liar. You don't want to be looked at as not a person of your word. Because why? Your credibility start to go down, and then what's another word I'm looking for? Not credibility. Your I don't want to say seniority, but maybe seniority, because after a while, people gonna stop looking to you to do stuff for them, or people gonna stop asking you stuff, because at the end of the day, you're a liar. At the end of the day, you're not reliable. You said you was gonna do this, you didn't. Was you buttering me up? Was you just saying something to be cool in the crowd? Was you like, what's going on with that? Right? So with that being said, let me go ahead and read the scripture. This kind of hit home for me because, you know, I expect people to be, you know, people of their word. Or, you know, if you're not going to do something, just don't say you're going to do it. Because I'm the type of person that when the thing come that you said you was going to do, I'm going to say it. I thought you were supposed to, yada, yada, yada. And what oftentimes that happen is the person to get mad at you for even bringing it up. Like, how are you mad at me for you told me you was gonna do this? I'm just saying, I thought you said you was gonna do this. Why it's not happening? That's the type of person I am. I'm trying to get you to stick to your word. That's why the title of this class is called Power of the Tongue. Don't say nothing if you're not gonna do it. Because the person the person you saying it to gonna end up looking at you like, man, this person is a liar. She or he said they was gonna do this. This how they said they was gonna do it, and when the time comes to do it, they're not doing it, and then they get mad at the person and say, "I thought you said you was doing it. How you get mad at me?" How you get mad at me? You said you was doing this. Be a person of your word, man. Don't be making empty threats or empty promises, or if you're not gonna do it, just say you're not gonna do. I mean, just don't say it at all. I know it's tough sometimes to do that too, because you wanna. No, it's fair saying you don't wanna. It's tough to I don't want to say it's tough to be a person of your word, because it's not really tough. All you have to do is actually be a person of your word and do what you said you was gonna do. That's it. Sis said, especially if you overlook it, but it's she bringing out the big word. She probably college educated. Okay. Right. It's a continuation of disappointment. Says she bringing out the big word. Okay, but see, that's heavy though, because definitely is. You was constantly listening to a person that said they're gonna do something, then the time comes, they don't do it. They said they're gonna do something else, the time comes, they don't do it. Now I'm looking at you like you're a liar, because you say you was gonna do all these things, and sometimes things come up, sometimes things come up, but a person like me, I'm gonna be that guy that says, I thought you were supposed to do this today. I thought you said you was gonna do this today. Now I'm looking at you in a different way, because you didn't do what you said you was gonna do. That's why I'm finna read the power of the tongue in the Bible, but that's why this is the title of the class today, because we're gonna be talking all about that, right? And after this, we're gonna get into how everybody in the UPK or in the world Slovakia, she be looking at the presidential thing, the candidate of the presidential race thing, should be looking at them as liars too. Like I was born in 90. I don't even know who was in the office since then. I'm gonna say I wasn't able to vote till about 2009 or 2008. So I'm gonna say all the presidents from Bill Clinton, because that's who I first was hearing about when I was growing up. Bill Clinton. From Bill Clinton on, you should be looking at all them as liars, because they sure said they was coming out with this policy and that policy. We're gonna be helping these people and that people, and it didn't happen. They are not people of their word. So and probably from past that. Because we all know at the end of the day that this presidential thing is not made for us to participate in anyway. They just want us to. They want us to participate in it so we can be, further distracted. Or when somebody get in office and they don't do what they said they was going to do, they're going to turn back and look at us. Well, y'all voted for these people. Y'all the one put these people in office. We didn't put no one in office. What happened if no one votes? What would happen if no one in the United States votes for either president? Is they gonna start over and get 4 more new people? Because they always just put people in front of us and tell us to vote for this person or that person. Right? But I'll be getting sidetracked. Slocky. Let me read this real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 21. Death. Wait, hold on. I might need a little bit further breakdown on 20, but we just gonna start at 21 for today. And next week I'm definitely gonna come back and have a breakdown for 20 going through 21, because I think both of these coincide with each other. I don't want to give what I think the breakdown is, because in the ISUPK, you know, we all about the facts. You know what I'm saying? We want the facts to come out, right? So for this class, I'm just going to read Proverbs 18 and 21. But next week, I'm gonna read the same scripture again, but I'm gonna throw 20. Yeah, I'm gonna read 20 as well and have a breakdown for 20. But for now, it's just gonna be Proverbs chapter 18 and 21. It says, let me check the comment section. Okay, we good. Okay, it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. We just read, we just spoke about a whole bunch of death and life, which is that's just one side of it, being a man of your word. Another side of it is putting people down, saying negative things, or not knowing how to talk to somebody, not knowing the right things to say, and just saying anything. A person gonna, you never know when you speaking with someone, you never know what they taking from what you're speaking. You know what I'm saying? Especially knowing that it's power in the tongue. You never know what they taking from your speech, or I don't want to say taking, what words are they grasping when you speak to them individually. You never know what they taking from that. So that's why you have to definitely be careful on who you speak around, who you're speaking to. Like, okay, let's just use me for, I don't like using me for an example, but let's just use me for an example. The way I talk to a woman in the world is going to be way different than I talk to my rib or my wife. The way I talk to some whore on the streets is going to be way different than I talk to my sisters in the UPK, right? Right? That's why you have to know who you talking to, and that a lot of that comes with the reading of the room. The sometimes you don't even have to speak coming in the room. How you get to know somebody is basically being silent. They gonna tell you all about themselves if you give them a chance. Right? So it says death and life. Life, you can speak life into somebody by just complimenting them, or saying you're proud of them, or you know what I'm saying, giving them positive affirmations, or just hearing from somebody. You haven't spoken to this person in a while, in over a year or two, or however long it's been. Just giving them a call, that can speak life, and that could be life being spoken into a person. Man, I haven't heard from you in a long time. You was my buddy. Woo, y'all, get to chopping it up. That's another way of speaking life into somebody. You might not have talked to this person in years, months, weeks, but you give them a call. I was thinking about you the other day. I decided to, give you a ring. They be like, oh man, you was the homie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get to chopping it up. Y'all get to laughing. And that next thing you know, they asking what you up to. Then you tell them I'm in the UPK now, man. Where you live at? They live out of town. Oh, we got a school there. You might want to look it up. You know what I'm saying? We'll get with some like-minded brothers and sisters that think just like you, but we living righteous. We not smoking the weeds. We're not dealing with white women and white men as far as making marriages with them and being in relationships with them. We do business with them. all that business, trading, but we're not inviting these people to the barbecue. They're not getting the special ride to the barbecue with us. We doing our stuff separate from what they do, meaning they can have the 4th of July. We gonna have a Midwest Fire Weekend, which is way, way better than the 4th of July. The Midwest Fire Weekend, way better than the 4th of July. You know, an example of speaking life into somebody, man. You probably haven't spoken this person. It's spoken to this person in a while, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. You give them a ring. Oh, I was thinking about you, man. How you been? And then y'all get to chopping it up. Y'all get to laughing. And next thing you know, reminiscing. I remember when we did this. I remember when we did that. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how another person's life is going. They might just need you to speak some life into them. They might just need you to give them that call. You know what I'm saying? Salaki. Con, sir. Words can build or tear down a person. I've learned that. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. And I think that's one of the best ways that life can be spoken into somebody that you haven't spoken to in a while, or you might have had beef with this person, but now that you in the UPK or in the better place in your life, you was able to get over whatever beefs you had. Well, on your end, then you end up calling that person, man, what was we fighting about? Nothing, man, that little bitty stuff, man. I'm doing this now, I'm doing that now. You know what I'm saying? I got brothers and sisters everywhere. So if I travel to here, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Then you get to, telling them what you in. Oh, I'm in the UPK, man. We do this, we do that. Like-minded individuals that think the same way, that share the same sense of brotherhood and sisterhood that you share. You can bring them in and possibly change their life too. Because you, at the end of the day, you do want your friends that was in the world to come in here as well. But sometimes, it don't go that way. But as long as you can say, well, I've tried. I reached out to this person. They took their sweet time. They, they kept going backwards. Next thing you know, I don't want to speak it into existence, but next thing you know, something happened to them or whatever the case. And you'd be like, dang, I told this brother or sister that they needed to come in the UPK and either leave the drugs alone, leave the pork alone, you know how it goes. Sometimes you telling a person so for so long, then something bad happened to that person. You be like, dang, I told you to go and come in here. You got nothing but positivity speaking towards this person, and they just don't want to hear. They want to keep living the way that they living. They've been living this way for 20 years. Ain't nothing changed. Well, and this is the most basic thing that they doing. They getting the little bundles of weed, going out to the clubs. What else? Being with different men or different women. Stuff they've been doing for 15 years plus since they was little. Ain't nothing changed. Only thing changed is where they doing it at now. They probably was doing that in Minnesota at first. Then they moved to Detroit and started doing it. Then they moved to Chicago, Milwaukee, started doing the same thing, going to the club, smoking weed, having different men and women in their life. Like I said last week, not hearkening to the voice of the Lord, which is he speaks through us. We are the prophets. We are the warnings. We try to warn. Man, y'all better get y'all life together, man. We all getting old now. That's my favorite saying. We all getting old. Y'all still doing the same thing we did 10, 15 years ago, man. It's time to try something better. It's time to do something better. As you get older and older, your body and your metabolism stuff slow down. So whatever drugs that you on, the older you might can't take that. It might, hey man, I'm just telling y'all, man, get off the drugs. This is absolutely correct though. Because you know how they came out with the new strand of drug, the new strand of weed. They had dro, then kush, then loud, then fentanyl got the mixing in the drugs. Now you don't even know if this is real stuff you smoking. The solution to that is just to stop it all together. You don't want to get that bad batch. Next thing you know, you waking up in hospital somewhere. And the prophet of the Lord was trying to tell you, man, leave that stuff alone, man. I used to run and do the same stuff with y'all, but I heard the Lord through the ISUPK. And they said, put the drugs down. They said, start repenting and giving your life to the Lord. Trying to wake up other people to do the same thing as you doing. Because like I said, you want your friends that's outside of the UPK to be in the UPK. Then you have that's an extra, it's like it. That's an extra incentive on, because then y'all can have little friendly competitions. I bet you I can do this before you. And this all within the work of the Lord. Sometimes it could be extra motivation for you to do extra work for the Lord. We all want that. Some of our friends to come out the world and come in here and, do the same thing as us, right? But at the end of the day, everybody ain't gonna hearken to the voice of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? But let me read this again, which is Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Like I said in the beginning, you have to be a person of your word. Because what it said, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. People that believe you, it's like, I don't want to say it's like second nature. It's almost like, let me see for an example. Like me, and I'm gonna use me one more time. When somebody said that I'm gonna do this tomorrow and they actually do it, that's like I don't want to say cool points or I don't even know the word to describe it, but that make me think, man, I can trust this person. I love to put a task before this person and they say they're gonna do it and they do it. That makes me, like I said, I don't want to say give them cool points or whatever. They're just make it more righteous in the Lord. This person is a man or woman of their word. They always do what they say they're gonna do. They're reliable. They're not a liar, right? You want to look at people like that. You want to have people, so you want to surround yourself with people like that. And sometimes it could be the littlest tasks, the smallest tasks. But since you said it, I'm going to be looking out for you to do that, right? It's like it. Because it makes it that much better when somebody do something that they say they're going to do. They're looked at more for, it's just like a slavery too, like at a job. If you at your job and you doing stuff like, you're known as a great worker around your slavery or around the warehouse or something like that. People like the supervisor or team leaders, they're gonna be coming to you to get big tasks done because you're reliable. They're gonna give you this task. You're gonna say you can do it between this time. They don't have to worry about if you're gonna get it done because they already seen you do it before. Right? They know that they can rely on you to do something. That's just like how this scripture is. Death and life. The death part is when you don't do it. Then the person is looking at you like, man, this nigga lying. This a lying nigga here, man. They said they gonna do this and do that. And like I said, some people get mad at you when you bring up something that they not doing that they said they was gonna do. Which is weird, bro, because you thought I was gonna forget. I don't get that. I really don't. Let me read that one more time and we're gonna move on. But this is what the class is all about: having power in the tongue. You don't want to you in a grocery store somewhere, you see some old ladies or some elder people, some older men even. They moving slow. You know how when you see older people, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to come up to them with a harsh voice and hurry that shit up and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole bunch of negativity and death. That's gonna circle around to you. Because what you see these people, they done live life. You know what I'm saying? You have to, and that's where that's where respect come in at also too, right? Because if I tell you I'm about to do something and I don't do it, then you lose, you look at me as a liar and you lose respect for me because I didn't keep my word. Right? I think I just got that mixed up. I'm not, yeah, I think I did. I meant to say was, if I'm in the grocery store, right, and I'm behind the person that's yelling at the old people, I'm gonna look at them like, man, it's gonna put something in me to go check that person for yelling at these old people. They ain't did nothing to nobody. These people is about 60, 70, 80. They ain't did nothing to nobody. I'm looking at you disrespecting the elders, like, man, it's gonna put something on my mind to maybe step in to protect the elders. Because you speaking death around, telling them to hurry up and doing all kind of negativity when you could just be patient, right? And speak life, like you can speak life into the elderly. That could change. That can speed it up. Like, you know, the older people usually like the jokes. You know, you can crack some jokes while you're standing in line with them, or you know, anything except being negative, except speaking death through your tongue. When you speak death to somebody like that, the surrounding people look at you some kind of way. You might spark somebody demon behind you, and they might want to come after you just for what you did to these older people. You know what I'm saying? It's multiple ways that and I don't want to you know, say that, well, you really could be unalive for the things that you say. Let that sink in. And then the easiest example of that is, you know, y'all know how I like movies and stuff, is the oh my God, what's that movie? I think it's called from nah, not From Paris with Love. Right? I wanted to reference an old slavery movie, but from Paris with Love was the first thing that came to mind about this scenario about being unalive from what you say. Because and the reason why I wanted to use a slavery movie, because it relates to just being the Israelite. And it's most likely something that would have, I was gonna say that Kuta Kinte thing, but he wasn't alive because he kept calling himself because he wouldn't call himself Toby. He wasn't killed because of that. But you know what I'm saying? It's messed up to think of a reference like that. But From Paris with Love, right? When they was around the dinner table or whatever, old girl got that call. She said, "No, there's no rose here." And John Travolta smoked her right there. That's how it is. Pete, you never know what kind of demons anybody got on them, speaking death like that or speaking against elderly people. You know, you have people that was born in the 70s and 80s who don't take disrespect lightly. You know, especially to older people. You never know what demons you triggered to have them try to do something to you just by trying to speak death or speak ill to the elderly like that. What was I going to say? Also, a form of speaking death. This is so weird. Also, a form of speaking death. It could be to your kids as well. You know what I'm saying? You can, you know how single parents out there, single mothers, single fathers. You know, you got some single parents out there, single mothers who actually you know, talk to their kids any kind of way. Like they call them all out their name at a young age, just killing their spirit, just the killing their spirit. Next thing you know, they grow up, they all out of control. They probably depressed. They probably got some mental health issues just because of how the either the mother or the father was speaking to them when they was young, speaking death into them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said too, you could speak life into the kids as well by giving them positive affirmations. You know, now speaking death and discipline is two different things. Like when you disciplining somebody, it's a lesson to be learned right there. When you disciplining somebody, some kids or when you disciplining young children or kids, it's a lesson to be taught during the discipline. But when you speak in death into them, you just it's abuse. It's a form of abuse. The kid ultimately ain't gonna never forget it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how y'all. I don't know if y'all seen like you know, back in my era we used to watch like the Maury Show and what else? It's another show. It's not Jerry Springer. It was a different show. I don't want to say Ricky Lake or no stuff like that, but the Maury Show had different segments on there. Like we all know the popular segment, which is the Are You the Father segment, but they also had segments on the Steve Wilkos Show, right? They also had segments on there where a mother and a child will come out there, and the child will tell the mother how, you know, how they felt growing up or how they treated them growing up. Most of the kids will say, man, you was abusive, verbally abusive, physically abusive. Like I said, they don't forget these things that happen to them when they're young children. They don't forget how they talk to, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, discipline and speaking death to children is different, right? When you disciplining a child, it's a lesson that you're teaching. Man, you did this, so now this got to happen. I'm gonna tell you why this got to happen. You know, give you the breakdown on this and that. Ooh, now suffer the punishment and do the punishment, and at the end of the day, you know why that happened. But speaking death into a child, man, you ain't never gonna be your daddy wasn't you ain't you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's speaking death into them. So if the Maury Show was still going on today, you would have been on the Maury Show. They would have been bringing you on their mom. You remember you told or pops. You remember you told me I ain't never gonna be. My pops wasn't. And all you did was sit around smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, getting drunk, all while telling me that I ain't. Well, fine, then what is you? You know what I'm saying? They get into that whole argument thing, and kids remember how you talk to them. Especially if you have that one special child that grow up to make millions of dollars somewhere. Then you looking at them like, can I have a little bit? I'm like, no. You remember how you talking to me when I was a kid? Like, do you remember? They go Michael Jackson. Do you remember the time? Right? It's lucky. But they grow up to we all dwelt on our younger self, our childhood days, teenager days. We all sat back and thought about it and came up with a conclusion. Man, I was a bad kid, or man, I was a great kid, or you know what I'm saying, man, my mom's and them, they yelling at me, they kept me in a dark room, whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? Then we grow up thinking about that stuff and then feel some kind of way, whether it be resentment or I don't know. Some of us, go get that therapy, and then sometimes we be good after therapy, but sometimes a person just don't get the therapy and they just be messed up in the head because of their childhood. And which I recommend therapy. Come into the ISUPK, man. Get your free therapy, your free counseling. You know what I'm saying? Can get some of those demons off you. Can get the, we got that It's a demon of rebellion, a demon of just non-forgiveness. Sometimes we want to be mad at certain people. Like, how does that even work? I see this saying on Facebook all the time where it say maturing is realizing. Then they put the thing that maturing is learning how to let certain things go that happen that it was out of your control. People ain't the same person they was 10 years ago. People ain't the same person they was 15 years ago. Especially getting older. You get a different perspective. See, and this is the thing. I don't want to say every 7 years. Let me see, 7 to 14, but definitely every 7 years. Because once you 7, you're not thinking how once you 7, once you turn 14, you're not thinking how you was when you were 7. Once you turn 21, you're not thinking how you was when you was 14. Once you turn 28, you're not thinking about how you was when you was 21. Once you turn 35, it's a whole different ball game. Especially coming into your 30s, you learn to, sometimes you forget, like, why was I into it with this person? Or you know what I'm saying? You forget why I can't stand this person. Or you learn to let it go. Man, that stuff was petty. I was 25. I was 23. I'm 34 now. Still thinking about what happened 10 years ago. You have to let that go, man. Maturing is letting things go. Maturing is also speaking life instead of speaking death. Now, when I say about 18 to maybe 29, right before you hit that peak of 30, oh, you were speaking a lot of death into a lot of people. You was clowning people, reckless at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean. Just saying any and everything to hurt a person's feelings, not knowing that what you said could have made or broke a person. They probably didn't look broke at the time, but they go somewhere and realize, man, what they were saying was true, man. I don't like that they said this to me. And it'd be a whole snowball effect. They get to thinking of ways to get back at you. They get to thinking of ways to, that's why speaking life into a person is much more, I want to say, well, I'm going to say valuable, much more valuable, much more, much more valuable, much more, I say acceptable as well. Much more, is way better than speaking death. Because once you speak death into somebody, once you say the wrong thing to a person, they get the plot, especially if they be in their feelings with it. They get the effective. Shout out to Salaki, officer of Mungabar, officer of 1,000 of Mungabar. Exactly. The water, sir. Effective because, like I said, speaking death into somebody, speaking death around somebody, you never know who listening. They get the plot, and now you looking over your shoulder from some stuff you said 10 years ago. You never know how they took it. Speaking death into a person or around a person is dangerous. You never know the demons they got on them. You never know the weaponry they got with them currently. You probably done said something, you turn this way, next thing you know, that person come behind you and slits your neck for some stuff that you said. Death and life is in the tongue, according to Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 21. And it's very true. I've seen people get beat down for things that they said. They didn't even harm nobody. They just said some stuff and somebody heard it and they went go searching for them. And then was that never happened speaking life into somebody. You know how you got somebody suicidal, right? And I don't know if I can say that on the line, but you got somebody like they be on the edge or something. They be willing to jump, right? They on their last legs. They so depressed that they want to take their own life, right? But then you got the firefighters and the police officers speaking life back, trying to speak life into them, speaking them off that ledge to get them to save their life. But if they was trying to speak death into them. Like, you might as well jump. You might as well do this. Ain't nobody, they gonna absolutely jump. But their job is to save this person. So they speaking life into them. Man, you got so much more to live for. You know what I'm saying? You see all these people out here, they care about you. I don't know how it go. I don't know what they be saying, but that sounds like along the lines of what they be saying. Man, you got so much to live for. Man, what you trying to do, you could come back from this. You ain't in that much debt. You know how them rich white folks, as soon as they hit $0, they want to jump off a building somewhere slocky. But they ain't never been through the struggle. But as soon as they, you know, that's the firefighter and the police job to do when somebody is feeling like they want to take their own life. Is speak life into them, positive things. That's what you should already be doing in the real world. Because like AG said, which is a perfect word, it's much more effective. It's much more safe. And it's righteous. You will want to be righteous when speaking life into some. Man, I like those shoes. And then, like I said, it could be the simplest things, man. Your shirt look nice. Because you know how we is on our fashion as being a Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're not looking for the compliments, but it's nice, right? It's nice that somebody say, man, that shirt, boy, I need one of them, right? It gives you that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just a word for it that you can't say. It gives you that extra pizzazz or that extra, you know, you want the compliments, right? That's speaking life to, like the simplest things, compliments. Jokes can be speaking life to somebody because laughing is the most easiest. Well, I don't know how it is for y'all, but I don't want to say trying, but making somebody laugh for me is the easiest way to, is an easy affirmation for me. You know, making somebody laugh, that just, when you, and I don't know if you know what I'm saying, as a comedian, I don't know how they feel about making people laugh, but making somebody laugh is just like the best feeling. Because you didn't make them cry. You didn't take them to no dark place. You know what I'm saying? You took them to a light area where, you know, they can, you know, get their chuckles in. And then, you know, it's just a good conversation when you're able to throw jokes in. Then you get to thinking, then you speaking life. You know, you spoke life into the brain. Because of the effectiveness of how effective your conversation was. When you have two people doing a negative conversation, cussing each other out, something negative is bound to happen in a few minutes or a few hours after they were just talking negative to each other. But not when you're speaking life into somebody. When you speak a life to somebody, that's when the ideas get to flowing. You know what I'm saying? The engine get to revving. You get to thinking about other ways on how to do other positive things, right? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You want to be careful on what you say to people. Be careful how you talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, speaking life is much more effective, much better. All the nice things, right? It's way better than speaking death. That's just like, and I don't want to keep, maybe I should keep giving examples, but it's just like a young teen being pregnant, right? And she just don't know what to do. She just in back there in the corner. Maybe she don't want to tell her parents. Maybe she want to hide it from her parents. But being that uncle, being that auntie, you know, who, especially in the ISUPK, man, you know, we want to speak life into that young lady, because we don't want her to abort this child, you know. But somebody outside of the UPK, somebody that, you know, giving her just the worst advice ever, man, you don't need no baby, man. It's gonna ruin your life. You know how them, you know, you got some bad aunties out there, some drunk aunties, some whore aunties. And uncles, you got some drug dealing uncles, uncles that probably touched you somewhere. What else? Just street uncles, you know, the street uncles, they willing to pay for the abortion because they've done it before, right? They don't care about life or death. They're willing to kill somebody over some drugs. Like, they're gonna tell you the absolute worst advice, right? So you want to get that advice from somebody who wants you to have those kids. You know, it's nothing wrong with having kids. And I don't know about this, but the worst, it seems like the worst thing to me that the young women be scared of is telling their parents. The parents are gonna, if they was, you know, old school like my grandma and them, they gonna tell you, man, you better keep that baby. The baby ain't really do nothing. You did it. Now you gotta go through this motherhood. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. Now that you got that off your chest, now that everybody know you're pregnant, you know, it becomes easier. That's the biggest decision. Do they hide the pregnancy, or do they, you know, that's the decision that they be struggling with. And if you speak death into them, like I said, auntie come in, you don't need no child, man. Children gonna ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? Look at me, I ain't had no choice. She probably done had 6 abortions already. She be like, look at me, I'm still out here partying, and she 40. She's still in the club partying. That's not nobody to look up to as an example. She's speaking death into her niece, telling her to get rid of a kid. But you speak life into that young lady. Hey, man, it's a beautiful thing being pregnant. You know, your legacy starts. You're able to show this person, right? Grow a baby from scratch to 18, 19, 20, 15. You able to marvel at the steps on how a child is born and how a child grows up from being a toddler to a child, to a young man, young woman, to a teen, to a grown person. You be like, dang, that's crazy. I just watched you grow. And in the same way for me being like an uncle or an uncle to my nephews and nieces, I come around a little bit, they this high. Maybe a month or two, three months later, I come back around, they talk, man, you got big in them. What are they feeding you up here, right? You see that evolution of life, right? That's a good thing. Because how else is this place going to carry on? How else is the legacy of, I don't want to just say the legacy, the humanity going to move on if the people just keep getting abortions? If the women just keep getting abortions? Then they got, and then it's a new thing out here with these women and with these young teens and abortion. They got the rappers promoting the what's that Plan B pill, the abortion. They favorite rapper, Megan Thee Stallion. I ain't really heard nobody else promote abortion other than Megan Thee Stallion, because Dirty Red done had a kid since she been famous. Cardi B done had a kid since she been famous. Questionable to me, but you know, I'm on that conspiracy tip. Beyonce done had some kids while she was, you know, they ain't speaking abortion, but this new chick, Megan Thee Stallion, she in the presidential candidate. The presidential stuff. She speaking about abortion, twerking for elections, like, and they love her. They love them from Stallion of the Megans, right? But she being a young teen and that being your favorite artist, what you gonna do? You're gonna listen to them because you're influenced by them. But me being a life speaker, I don't know if that's a thing. Being a life speaker, we want to speak life into your young daughter. Hey man, you better have these kids. You better have this child. You don't want to, because you don't know if you having this abortion can mess up your reproductive systems. Sometimes it do. It mess it up completely to where you can't even have kids at all after just so many after this abortion. You know what I'm saying? And also, being an uncle, you can say, well, who's the father? And then you get into all of that. Man, both of y'all meet me over here, such and such, give them that talk. Man, y'all finna be parents, man. It's time to start preparing. I know y'all still children and all of that, but y'all was doing grown up things that led you here. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, you know? These are some of the words that you can speak into that young woman to not have her abort her kids. I mean, her child. I don't know why I'm speaking like she's just automatically impregnated with 2 kids at the same time, but you wanna instill in her head that abortion is never the way, right? Don't listen to these. They famous rappers. They paid to be negative, basically. I love you, so I want you to save this child that's in your belly. Right? We already went over the death part. And that goes for it's a different world for the young man, though. For the young man, you still got them drug dealer uncles who influencing the young man to be a drug dealer, a gang member. You got gang member cousins. You got what else? Criminal uncles, criminal cousin. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of speech to a young man. You want to teach the young men that, man, look, instead of speaking death, we're gonna talk about the death part. You know, the drug dealer uncle, man, you might as well start selling this with me. You want money? They start pulling out the stacks. You want money in your pocket, right? Look at all this money. Don't give your mama no real money, right? They start showing you the money. Then you enticed by what the money can buy, right? You see all these different women around, then you don't see the same women around. Meaning they is doing these women up and leaving them. Like they're speaking death into your son. This how you do it. You know, oh, you don't want the money from this? Well, look at this. I'm finna go showing them how to sell drugs. Oh, you don't want to do this? Oh, well, I bang cubs, blood. I bang, teaching them how to be in the game, how to go take lives, speaking death into this young man. Power in the tongue. When on the flip side, and not only that, I was just about to flip to the life side, but not only that, you got nowadays LMNOP uncles. And y'all know what I mean by when I say LMNOP, right? The community, the rainbow gang. You got the rainbow gang uncles and aunts trying to get you to join their lifestyle, which is more death. Like I said, the abortions. Not only that, they got a new thing out today where, is that a spider web? Yeah, it's a spider. Yeah. They got a new thing out today where they actually want to mutilate your young son. They want to chop his manhood off so he can regret it later and become one of them people, like I was mentioning, finna jump off a building because he ain't got his manhood no more. Because he regret that decision that he made when he was a young man, a young person. But America allows that sort of thing. That's why you have to, on the flip side, which is life, you have to speak life into this young man. Be something positive. Like I'm so proud of call him young man Nick, because he ain't in the truth yet, but I want him to get in here. But I'm so proud of Nick. The young son in training, right? He didn't act okay, so he played a video game, and I'm sidetracking right now. But this is he wanted some money. So what did he do? He thought about the positive things. He got this grown cousin who used to cut grass for the little change around the crib. He wanted to do that. That's positive. That's life. That's not taking a life. That's not selling drugs to the next man. There's not nothing negative about cutting no grass and making an honest living, making building character. That's life. Speaking life into these young men. He just asked the other day for a rake. Y'all know it's October. You know, them leaves is coming down. He just asked us to buy him a rake. So he can go make money raking. That is positive. That's something that you want to do. That's something that you want to teach the young men to do. You don't have to go sell drugs and look cool, because if you sell drugs, guess what? You're risking freedom. And if they don't got you then, they stroll this building the cave. They watching you. You can say they ain't there sell drugs right in front of the police. But best believe they building a case on you to put you away for 10 years plus. And you don't want to know what go on up in prison. You do not want to know. Just know is nowhere a young kid as such as you set yourself to go in. But I was saying the positive side of it, you know, like I said, cut that grass, rake those leaves. You know, there's many elderly people around the community. You can, hey, can I do something for you for a little bit of dollars? Take your trash out, maybe clean out your basement. You know, they be needing stuff like that to happen for them, you know, which is positive. That's life. You want to speak life into a young man. Man, do something positive, man. You don't want to be like the rest of these goofs. Slocky. You don't want to be, hold on. You don't want to be like the rest of these other young men who risking their life and freedom to go sell some drugs somewhere, which against the law. You looking over your shoulder, high speed chases, stealing cars like that. That's lame. That's what you want to make known as lame. Selling drugs, stealing cars, being in the gang, that's lame, son. You want to do something positive, man. Get on the football team, recreational. What else? Like, is it? And that's what makes it so bad, because it's so much more positive things than it is negative. I mean, so much more life things than death things, but they promote the death, the drug dealing, the drug doing, prostitution, sleeping with other people. Oh, I took his girl. You know, they definitely promote that. What else? Type. It's like LMNOP thing, which is death. You know, you want to. It's power in the tongue, man, and it's like a full circle. You can speak power to a young person or an old person or a mentally unstable person. You want to speak the most life to that person, because you never know when the crash out gonna come. You can probably speak the life, so much life into that person that there is no crash out. What's going on with this spider? Hold on, G. Hold on, Slocky, y'all. Let me let me get this spider on here, y'all. Slocky. This joint coming down fast. Pause if necessary. Let's see it through these glasses. I'm gonna get him. Whoop. 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 Slocky. Being an exterminator like this is, you can't make this stuff up, man, because that's even positive. Why? Because you're not out here risking your life, freedom. Because once you sell a drug, somebody gonna want to rob you for those drugs. Once you get the money, somebody's gonna rob you somebody's gonna want to rob you for that money. Once you start flashing in the hot cars, the jewelry, the chains, the necklaces, somebody who ain't got that gonna be looking at you like, man, I can get that from this dude, or I could try this dude and try to jack him for it. Now you got to take somebody's life for self-defense because they tried to steal something from you, when you could have just went the complete life way and did a legitimate and had the Lord on your side. Now, who gonna come against you if the Lord on your side? They're gonna automatically lose. The Lord is life. Death is not with the Lord. Right? So, Lucky, I didn't mean for that to. Well, I kind of did mean for that to go on that as long as it did, because, like the title says, man, you have to watch what you say to people. Watch how you say things to people, because people people got certain things in their own life demons and, you know, certain things that they live by. If you say if you speak the wrong death in the wrong direction, somebody gonna try you for that. Somebody gonna try to do something to you for that, when you could just speak life into somebody or speak life in the directions of people. Then they're gonna look at you like, man, this dude is positive. You know what I'm saying? This dude is positive. He you know, he ain't looking to harm me. He ain't got nothing negative to say. You know what I'm saying? Why would I ever try to harm this dude? He's a positive person. Now, I ain't say don't defend yourself if something ever, you know, because demons get out of hand too. But I ain't saying don't defend yourself. Defend yourself. The Lord is on your, if the Lord on your side, you most likely gonna come out on top. Especially if you ain't doing nothing negative, speaking death into people, bringing people down instead of lifting people up. The Lord's gonna be on your side for that, man. It's lucky. Man, I wish I had that thing. You'll give him a round of applause for that. Lucky. Oh, it's high quality ace. 2 rolls, lucky. I always gotta check that. Why I'm saying I'm offline, man? Okay, moving on, y'all. We gonna get that was a lot, though. That was a lot. We gonna get us another. No, I wasn't a notebook, but I was looking at earlier. So I got going on for the closing of the feast this Thursday, or I think it's Wednesday. The closing. I'm gonna just say the closing. Closing of the Feast of Tabernacles. What y'all got going on, G? I mean, see, I'll be talking to y'all like it's just you and me in here. That's why I be saying, you know, little stuff like what's going on, G, and all that. I don't literally mean gangster like you in the gang. Like that's just how I talk. If we was face to face in real life, that's how I would say. What's going on with y'all out there, G? Cool, link, G. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I already went over that. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is perfect. We gonna move on to the book of First Samuel's. The book of First Samuel. The book of First Samuel. Yeah. First Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. Because I want to speak on this. Chapter 2. Okay. Wait till y'all get there. If y'all not got there, give y'all like a 1 word minute. If y'all can see my layout, I got like books laid across there. Right? See the layout. The book of First Samuel, chapter 2, verse 3. Now, the reason why I came to the book of First Samuel is because it's a reason why us in the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, got oil poured on our head. Despite if you think it's I don't want to say holy oil, you know what I'm saying? Despite if you think the oil is nothing or something, it's definitely something because it's an oath to the Lord. Now, most of us that's in the ISUPK was in gangs. You know, in gangs, they got oaths. So you mean to tell me, right, that in the game, you upheld the gang's oath, but you don't want to uphold your oath unto the Lord that you've took? And I say that to say this. People that got the oil put on their head and you know what I'm saying, not doing any type of work of the Lord. You just going through life freely without doing no type of work for the Lord. And things happening to you, you be, oh, why is this happening to me? Well, what have you done for the Lord? What have you done for the Lord lately or at any time? Are you just coasting through this thing? Because that's why I came to 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. We all have to put our brick in for the Lord. We can't just have the oil poured on our head. Now we know we Israelites, and that's it. What are you doing for the Lord? Simple as that, men and women. Because if you ain't doing nothing, then that's the reason that these things are happening to you. That's the reason right there. Wake up every day and doing nothing for the Lord. Not getting with no brothers, not getting with no sisters, not putting in no effort to do anything, to call nobody, to. That is why things is happening to you, because you are not putting in. Let me just read this and then maybe you'll get an understanding on why things are happening. Because if you just, like I said, you just got oil poured on your head, you know you're an Israelite, you know not to eat this, not to eat that. Okay, you know all that stuff, right? But what are you doing? Are you teaching class? Sorry for those technical difficulties. Sometimes the mic just don't want to hear me speak, I guess. It's lucky. But what I was saying was, what are you doing for the Lord? Because if you ain't doing nothing, then he ain't gonna do nothing for you. He ain't gonna be looking out for you. Your stuff gonna start happening to you. You're gonna be asking, well, why can I get a break? Why is this happening? Because you're not doing nothing to show that you. What are you doing to show that you love the Lord? Are you teaching any classes? Are you going to the high holy days? Are you putting in the effort in any kind of way to show the Lord that you still love the Lord? Because just by living every day to day, it's not showing nothing. Sorry to tell you, you're not showing nothing. That the stuff is just, you're not doing anything. And this is why I came to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. Let me read it, and then I'm gonna continue to speak on it. Slocky. And if y'all out there, y'all take notes and write these chapters down these scriptures down that I'm calling out, because these things can help you as well, you know, in battle, or just, you know, if you're trying to show somebody else, well, he was saying this is in the Bible and this and that. You want to write this down, which is especially this. This is the beginning. I don't want to say this is where it starts. This is where it starts. In the beginning is different, right? This is in the beginning of what you want to do, right? This is the book of this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2 and verse 3. And it reads, talk no more exceedingly proudly. Meaning, like I said, oh, I'm an Israelite. I know I'm an Israelite. I know not to eat that pork. I know not to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Israelite. I'm part of this and I'm part of that, right? Don't talk like that, right? Because why? Why, right? Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. Don't be, you know what I'm saying, bragging like, I know I'm an Israelite. I don't eat pork. Don't do that. That's something that you don't want to do, right? Because and then it said, let not arrogancy. That's arrogant to say, well, I'm an Israelite, so all I got to do is be an Israelite. No. You have to wait. I was just about to give it up, the rest of the scripture up, but hold on. It says, let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Meaning, man, you have to do something to show that you're on the Lord's side. Like I said, you can't just say, oh, I'm an Israelite. Oh, I know not to eat pork. I know not to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. You have to be present in here, whether it's coming to the high holy days, following orders. What else? Because those are the big thing. Coming to high holy days, following orders, being present. That's a big thing too. You can't just be, like I said about the oil, that's holy oil. You've been anointed, you got your name changed. So you have to start putting in that work. I don't know if y'all noticed, but once people first came in here, they was all about it. Getting the oil poured on. They had no financial hardships. Things was going smooth. Couple years going down the line, they start falling off. Things start, you know what I'm saying, not going their way. Then they start asking, man, Lord, why is this happening to me? Can I just get a break a little bit? The Lord looking down like, no, because what have you done? Why? The question is, why aren't you present? You make time for anything else that you love. So that shows the Lord, oh, you don't love the Lord because you're not being present for anything, not the high holy days, you're not following orders, you're not what else? Being clean when it's time to clean, that's them unclean spirits. You're not listening to your husband. Like I said, following orders. Things of this nature is why the things happen to you the way that they do. Now the Lord still has that mercy on you though, because at the end of the day, he could just swipe or no swiping you out of here. But he's trying. Like sometimes as a parent, you get tired of giving chance after chance after chance before it's time to start doing something as far as discipline. So that's the Lord disciplining you to let you know, man, put in that effort, man. Show up to class. Show up to the high holy days. Get boots on the ground. Make like I don't know what else to say, because like I said, you took that oil on your head. You think it's for no reason, but the Lord synced it. Lord synced, okay. Just like I said before, though, you put in so much effort with the gang. You done threw up Breaks, threw up VL, you done threw up Latin King, Blood, BD, Crip, and everything in between. You done followed the rules to a T within the gang, within the gangland. But once it comes down to following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, you've done some, but you fell off. Therefore, things start to happen to you. Salakia. Right? Actions are weighed. What did it say? Let me read this again, man. Talk no more exceedingly proud, man. I'm an Israelite, man. I ain't got to do nothing else but believe that I'm an Israelite, man. That's it. I got bills to pay. You still have to put in that work for the Lord, right? Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. Man, I'm an Israelite. There ain't no Israelite over there. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, man. Like we said before, there's power in the tongue. The title of this class is Power in the Tongue. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. Because why? The Lord is watching. The Lord is watching. And like I said a couple classes back, if something happened to you, you better not open your mouth to say, well, I've been through worse. The Lord is going to look at you like, what? Is he mocking me? Is he saying that this punishment that I'm going light on is not good enough? Right? That's what the Lord is saying. Oh, you've been through worse? Well, take some of this then. Now you out of a house, a job, a car, all that. And now you ready to curse the Lord because of what you've said. Oh, it's power in the tongue. We just read that in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, to be exact. Right? And again, right here, it says, let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. You've been through worse. Please don't say that. Please don't say you've been through worse, because that's just the worst thing you can say, right? Because it says, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Man, you have to put in that work, man. Show the Lord that you love him. Show him that you want this kingdom as in America to go down. Why? Because it's holding his favorite people, the apple of his eye, the 12 tribes of Israel. It's holding us down. And once enough of us come back to his law, statutes, and commandments, and then that's when, World War III is going to happen. And we're going to rejoice in World War III. Why? Because we're going to be saved. Nobody else needs saving but the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because while the white man is on top, why would he need to be saved? This for you, everybody. God loves everybody, people. The white man is on top. Why would he need to be saved? The African is on top. Why would he need to be saved? The Chinese person is on top. These people got thriving what should I say, societies? Because over there in Africa, they thriving. They over there in China, they thriving. Over here in America, the white people are thriving. They got if you ever been in, like, because I used to one of my jobs was doing the AT&T door to door, going into these white neighborhoods. Man, they got the best homes, the biggest homes, driveways. You see, well, the Cybertrucks went out back then, but I'm pretty sure now you'll see Tesla trucks, Cyber trucks, all in the driveways. 3-car garages. Like, they are living lavishly, bro. While we in the ghettos, barrios, starving. We got homeless people. We got tent cities. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealing, prostitution, I don't want to say kidnapping. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say that too. Kidnapping, missing people. Like that. That's not going on out there in the suburb. They got all the street lights on. Let's just talk about that real quick. They got all the street lights on. They got clean neighborhoods. Ain't nothing wrong with the plumbing, right? You know how some of these houses in the ghetto, the plumbing be messed up, so the crib be stinking like doo-doo, right? They ain't got no problem with that out the suburbs, right? 2 and 3 and 4-story homes. I used to deliver furniture as well. I used to have to take furniture up 2 or 3 flight of stairs, bro, to get to the top of a home. This ain't no apartment complex. This is a house, right? So why would they need saving? No, the Lord is coming back to save his people, man. The lost statutes ain't coming. The Slovakia, the lost tribes of Israel, man, which is the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's it. Like I said, the white man don't need saving. This is his kingdom. He got many kingdoms. Europe, Russia. Don't get it confused neither. Just because they over there in Russia don't mean they ain't white. Just because they down in Europe, just because they down in Australia don't mean they ain't. Well, I was just talking to somebody on the line, going back and forth with her. She talking about I'm Russian, I'm not white. I'm like, you are white. Which is crazy because that I see why they think that we all African. Just because we came from Africa. Just because we got off the boats from Africa, from West Africa. We're not African. She talking about I'm Russian, I'm not white. You are white. So is the European. So is the Australian dude. So is the Transylvania. Castlevania, them pale people down that way. You know what I'm saying? Why would they need saving? They got multiple kingdoms. But where is our kingdom? China is buying up land in Africa still to this day. Still to this day. They already got kingdom. They got the Japan, China as a whole, but the Japan, the Bangkoks, the etc. Right? Salakia. All right, why would these people need saving? They already got their kingdoms set and making money. Most of the stuff that's in your house right now is made from China. The wooden cabinets and what my godmom used to say, fine China cabinets, right? The stuff say made from China, man. They got sweatshops over there, man, shipping and in deals with the US from shipping and handling, right? Why would they need saving? The only people that need saving is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Why? The Native Indians live on reservations, man. On the outskirts. Some of their cribs ain't got windows in them. And it's about to get cold. Like Hispanics. If you ever been on the south side of Milwaukee, man, it's like this much space between houses. This much space between houses. I don't know if y'all can see through there. But this much space between the house is directly next to the next house. The only thing that divided is a small walkway. Most of them ain't got no garages. There's not even no alley some places. In the back of your house is another house directly in the back of your house. Which is messed up, man. It's so crazy, man. And not to mention the black people that go through the poverty. Like the rent and stuff is going up. Like for one bedroom, you paying $800. Now, on top of that, where you live at, the landlord is a slumlord. Like they not fixing nothing no time soon in your building. You done put in 16 requests for the same thing. Maybe it's a leak in the house. Maybe your windows broke. Maybe the paint peeling. Maybe your carpet flooded. They not gonna fix it. But they want that rent though, don't they? They want that rent on the 1st and 5th properly in their hand. Like how you want the rent and you ain't fixing shit. Salakia. Now they want to take you to court. Why are you taking me? I should be taking you to court. Like, come on, man. Not only that, in the Black, Hispanics, Native American neighborhoods, you got the shootings, the Kia boys out here in Milwaukee getting in crashes every other day. Unalive and innocent people. I'm talking about every other day. At any time of the day, you can catch a crash throughout the city. And that's no BS. If you're a driver, if you got a driving job like DoorDash or Lyft, you've seen this. That's why, man, y'all better be quick to get to the actions for the Lord, man. Just because your bills coming up don't mean that you can't put in no work towards the Lord, no work for the Lord. You can't put in none of that towards the Lord. Not even a Sabbath service, not even one class, not even making the food, not even making an effort to get in a school. You just think because you got and now that I think about it, that's Christian-like. That's Christian-like. Because what happened? What happened in the Christian church? Well, as soon as they get baptized, they think they good for life. Oh, I'm saved. That's exactly what they think. And you in here, you got oil poured on your head, your name changed, and you ain't done nothing since then. You think you're saved, right? That's Christian-like, man. Start putting actions towards the Lord, man. Actions are weighed. Imagine this, right? The Lord come back, right? The Lord come back, and he have like a major council, or he have the angels hold council, right? They call you up there, then they ask you that question. Well, what have you done for the Lord within from here to last 3 months? And you ain't got nothing to say, man. Lord be with you, man, because don't let it get sent up that you ain't been doing nothing. The Lord's gonna do something that you ain't been doing nothing. The Lord gonna do something, right? Guarantee you. The Lord see all of this, man. If he don't, he got the angels report to what they've seen. You think you ain't got no angels around you? You think angels is just here to protect you? No, they writing stuff down. Oh, he did this. Oh, she did that. Or, oh, they didn't do this. They ain't doing diddly squat for you, Lord, my Lord. The Lord, like, man, I'm tired, man. I'm speaking through this brother to this sister. I'm speaking through this brother to this brother. And they still ain't doing nothing. All right, well, you know what to do. Then the angels start causing grief in your life, and you wondering, man, why is this happening? Why? You asking like why? Because what are you doing for the Lord? Exactly, what are you doing? Like I said, imagine that. The Lord hold the big come down, crack the sky open, that the Lord have the angels hold the council for each zone. And then they call you up, and then the angels got the record book, one of them got the pen, another one got the receipts on if you lie, and they can go, well, on 10/25, you did nothing, right? Imagine that, B. That's how you got to look at this work of the Lord, or just look at the ISUPK like that, and eternally look at yourself, man. What have I done? Have I been scrolling every day? Have I been what have I done? I haven't did nothing for the Lord in 6, 7, 8 months. That's why stuff happening. You got to get right with the Lord. Get right with yourself too. It's a lot on everybody's plate. And we still got to fight. We still got to put those actions to action. Is that even a thing? Putting action to action? Put actions forth, if that's the thing, right? Because what does 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3 say? The Lord is the God of knowledge. Meaning he gonna look at you and tell, man, you lying. and lying is a harsh thing to say about somebody. That it could be the truth though, That's crazy. If I could say you're lying, it's the truth. Do you get that? I could say you lying, but it's the truth that you lying, right? Do you even get that's something crazy to say, right? But it says, for the Lord is the God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Let's start putting our money. Let's start putting our money where our mouth is, man. Start putting action to the things that we actually want to do for the Lord. Because what are you doing for the Lord? Are you just living? Because if you just living, the Lord gonna make that living a little bit harder for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you took that oil, you made that oath. Like Cap always say, you could have said, no, man, I don't want this oil right now. You know, I don't want this right now. You could have said no, but you said yeah. So you were in. The only way out of the I-9s is in the box. You know what I'm talking about? It's locked. Little Malibu's most wanted humor, right? But yeah, man, start putting the actions to the work of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? If you put the actions to the work of the Lord, it's only up. You only can start seeing good things happen after that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, the work of the Lord is not hard. It's just a matter of not being stubborn, actually doing something, right? What else? Not being lazy. You know what I'm saying? These things are a formula of not doing nothing at all for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's a formula. Just like getting that oil poured on your head, getting your name changed, all that, it's a formula. Now you in. Now let's see you keep up the work for the Lord, right? Now let's see how you perform when things get tough and the going gets tough, right? We are all tested sometimes. We all get tested. Slocky. It's just a matter of, are you going to pass this test? Are you going to quit this test? Are you going to complain that you are getting tested? And are you going to finish the test? Are you going to complete these tasks that I put before you? You don't want to disappoint the Lord, man. Be on the Lord's bad side, man. That's crazy to even think of. It's crazy to even say. Because you and the UPK, y'all know we live by the Bible in here. We don't want to be on the Lord's bad side. It's evidence of what the Lord can do and has done to people that's on his bad side. Why would we want to be a part of that? Why would we want to be a part of somebody that's on his bad side? It's crazy. Like I said, man, it's a crazy concept to even think about. It's a crazy thought because that shouldn't even be in no one's head. Man, I ain't gonna do nothing this week for the Lord. I'm gonna just chill back. Next thing you know, your bills done went up. Right? Next thing you know, your bike got on flat, or your car got on flat, or you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Right? You have to be again too, be wary what you say, because it's power in the tongue. Be wary of the actions that you are participating in, because actions are weighed. If I'm let's take this as a scenario of husband and wife. If I'm telling you as a husband, I'm telling my wife, man, don't do this, don't do that, but do this and do that. And you as a wife say, nah, I'm gonna still do this and do that. That's still an action that is weighed with the Lord. The Lord weighed that action. Oh, she didn't listen to her husband. Let's check that. There's the angels over here checking, nipping you in the bud for not listening. You do not want, like I said, you do not want to be on the Lord's bad side. And it goes for the men too. Oh, yeah, okay. So he was given this order. He was given this order. And then you say, nah, I'm going to do this order. Okay, that's still an action that's weighed. The angel's checking it out. He didn't do it. He you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, it's consequences beyond you even seeing the consequences. Things start happening where you like, man, this is crazy, right? Crazy work. Man, and with that, man, this has been the ISUPK. It's just crazy, man. This has been the ISUPK coming out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Or should I say 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are now affiliated with no Israelite group, period. I'm Officer Kanani. This is ISUPK Milwaukee. The feast the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles is this week. We're gonna get you the specific date tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? The specific date of the closing, because I thought it was Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but we're gonna get you the specific date tomorrow in tomorrow's class. And with that, shalom, Israel. Bumba clot.